Power up. Welcome to Energypreneurs, where I bring to you the exciting new opportunities in solar power, battery, and electric cars. I'm your host, Sohail Hasni. I have been tracking and analyzing these technologies on LinkedIn and Twitter for more than 10 years. Now we meet on podcast. Good evening, Elaine. Great to be able to have you finally.
Thank you. It has been a busy week. I'm happy to take the time now and discuss what we plan introducing today regarding the Taiwan energy situation here.
Before we get that, maybe you can introduce yourself, who you are, where you are.
To give a little bit introduction of myself, I'm now the director of BillionWatts Technology company. It's a professional solar and battery storage solution and system integrator provider in Taiwan. A bit of a background. So we are a green energy subsidiary of Billion Electric, which is a 50 years old public listed company in Taiwan with a market cap around 60 million USD. With its core business drivers, one of the revenue drivers is our networking and communication equipment. And we are dedicated in 5G and related software development. And another business driver is for power supplies and energy management. And BillionWatts was founded in 2017. So we started our company as an innovator of solar monitoring system. So we further integrated, for example, artificial intelligence, analytic technology plus SCADA solutions to service our customer, ranging from small PV size to large scale 70 megawatts PV projects that are connected to, for example, 69 kV and 161 kV substations. And then we are fortunate to become also the largest distributor of solar edge inverter and optimizer solutions. We have successfully connected. We have successfully helped our customers over 200 megawatts of PV projects connected to grid. And our largest single site is in the southern part of Taiwan. That's around 77 megawatts, quite a flagship.
So you have lots of solar already in place, no? Basically, you are leading the energy transformation in Taiwan, no? In one way of saying it, no?
Yes. Following the global initiated on carbon neutralizations before 2050, and a lot of let's say the leading companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon's, they are committed to using green energy within before the time limitation. And because Taiwan, we are a country that has its economic let's say economic foundation established manufacturing. So a lot of our customers are requesting the factories to use green energy. So that's why we want to enlarge the capacity of solar and wind to 20 gigawatt by 2025. But in the current situation, we only have 6.5 gigawatt of solar connected to grid. So we are still a long way ahead to the government's wishful expectations. But yeah, we are on the right path, I hope.
So if you are planning to add that much gigawatt, what's the current situation in the Taiwan energy landscape? How big is the grid in Taiwan?
Yeah, so one obstacle that we face is Taiwan. It's like what I mentioned in the in our previous conversation, is that Taiwan is not big in terms of the size of land, and we also have a high population density, and yeah, to have that big of a space to build up 25 gigawatt solar, it's quite impossible. So we came out with a few creative way. So firstly, it's always industrial rooftop. And second, we launched this dual usage land purpose to connect fish pond, and on top we build solar.
Oh, that's
Then
nice. So you have the fish pond and then you have floating solar on top, or they're on a scale?
uh, still not floating, because if you do floating, then fish couldn't get the irradiance that is necessary for survival. Yeah, so still, then we also introduce agri solar farm. For example, those tracking those PV trackers that move according to the direction of the sun. So this is another strategy we took. Also, we have reservoirs, so we also do solar on reservoir. And what else? Oh, we also build solar on cemetery.
Ooh, on symmetries. Wow.
Yeah, so cemetery. Yeah, quite creative. Yeah, but I would say 40% are rooftop, then the rest are ground mounted.
Okay, so the government has a big plan to transition to solar.
Yeah, solar, wind, because before the foundation of Taiwan's energy infrastructure is always based on coal and oil, and unfortunately we lack of this natural resources. So almost 98% of the the energy resources is imported. So that's why following the carbon neutralization initiative, we want to increase our energy independency on ourselves. So this is our governance policy to increase the capacity of renewable energy to up to 20%. And the rest, we still rely on hydro, thermal, coal, and like and oil. And we want to abandon nuclear because of what happened in Fukushima. Yeah, and yeah, we are slowly like retire those aging nuclear power plants. And yeah, so we are really in the urgency to fill in the gap of of by using renewable energy.
Yeah, so these are all initiatives part of a government's national transformation plan. So government has a strategy, and then all the solar and battery and other storage initiatives are part of the plan. So government providing a lot of support for renewable.
Yes. So direct support is we encourage the concept of virtual power plant by introducing feed-in tariff. It's always feed-in tariff, but as we are building out more solar power plants, the tariff decreases by around 3% per half a year. So eventually we will probably meet a sweet point, like FIT is no longer that attractive as opposed to selling green energy and like we call it green energy certificate, REC, to PPA customers. Yeah, and like this is what most advanced countries, for example, Australia and Europe, are doing in current. It's they sign PPA, and instead of relying on sole and only utility company called Taiwan Power Company here, we will probably have more liberalizations on building our let's say private power companies in the future. But the thing is, because Taiwan is a democratic country, And if you raise the electricity price, that may infect the next candidates on the elections. So our government's party are still quite careful and reserved on increasing the price of electricity because it's so cheap here. It's around 10 cents per kilowatt.
10 cents a kilowatt hour. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not cheap. It's
How
some
about
of
in the Philippines?
yeah, of course, the Philippines, it's a half of Philippines, but some of the former Soviet countries, there you can still get below 5 cents a kilowatt hour.
Oh wow, that's where you build the mining mining equipment for Bitcoin, right?
But they also have a lot of hydro. I mean, that's why.
Oh yeah, hydro.
So if your tariff is 10 cents a kilowatt hour, what is the feed-in tariff right now? You said it's going
Feed-in tariff is around 15 cents.
Okay, 15 cents. And these are 20-year PPA?
Yeah, 20 years.
Wow. And is there any cap or it's an unlimited amount?
No cap. And actually, because our capital city is in Taipei, but then we get most of the solar irradiance in the south. So it happens to be, they want to create a self-sustainable community. For example, the energy generated can fulfill the energy demand of within the same community. So we don't have that much of a losses during like transmissions and like yeah, and the traveling. So the government is giving a premium. Let's say if you build solar in the northern region, that you get a 15% premium. Plus, if you use the modules manufactured by Taiwanese suppliers, then you get another 6% premium. But the module price in Taiwan are absolutely a lot more expensive as opposed to the modules in the rest of the world, because we have this protection to kind of eliminate out the competition from Chinese module suppliers. Otherwise, the Taiwanese module companies will all go bankruptcy. So that's why they set out this wall to give let's say give a chance for the
Local
Taiwanese
industries, no?
Yeah, local industries and like job opportunities, like labor forces consideration. But you know how much the Taiwanese module cost? It costs around 0.4 cents per watt. Is
So
that
it's almost a double of what it costs on a international wholesale price right now? Maybe, yeah, almost double. Okay. But what's the rooftop? I've never been to Taiwan. What's the rooftop solar situation? Because with your high feed-in tariff, so there are a lot of houses which has rooftop solar?
yes, not for residential, but commercial, yes. You will see because building a rooftop solar can help decrease the indoor temperature, and yeah, and then the factory's owner wants to have a better representations on the corporate social responsibility and so on. Yeah, so right now they're increasing the rooftop installation, but the problem is some like a majority of the a sector of the factories in Taiwan, the building itself is illegal. And if you want to build solar power plant on top of architecture, the building itself has to obtain the operational license. But then those illegals building, they don't. So yeah, so this is like the situation here.
But you are also involved in a lot of battery storage projects, no?
Yeah, battery storage project, because like to help with the carbon neutralization, like deploying renewable energy is the direct method to, let's say, slow down the global warming phenomenon. But because renewable energy has its own unpredictable and inconsistent characteristics. So to smoothen the thought curve, we are rolling out a 3 gigawatt initiative on battery storage installations. And
3 gigawatts, 3,000 megawatt hour. That's a lot of batteries.
Yeah, but as opposed to 25 megawatt of solar, it's still only 10%. The market is not that big. And we have a lot of money, like a lot of money from the capital market is dying to enter the energy space because it's like a fixed income investment, almost zero risk. And TPC has AAA on their credit rating. The only uncertainty is our relationship, diplomatic wise, with China. Yeah, but other than that, it's not much of a governmental risk. So yeah, so it's almost like a risk-free investment class of our energy.
Let me understand. So you are talking about, when you say investment, even on a battery, it's
Yes.
coming directly to the like equivalent of a PPA with the battery company, right? Sorry, with the utility.
So battery, it's a bidding mechanism. We can install different batteries in scattered locations to join the day-ahead market. So
Okay.
it's not PPA.
Wholesale electricity market. You have a wholesale electricity.
Yeah, it's a wholesale market. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, different from FIT and PPA. It's a wholesale market, and the capacity and price change based on, for example, the availability of your generators or your reserve capacity. If the reserve capacity is tighter, then you can provide a seller service at a higher pricing tariff. So yeah, so this is like a changing mechanism.
So do
And then
much sorry, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and the functionalities of the battery storage can be segregated down into two large categories. So one is for frequency regulation, which requires the usage of high power battery and to discharge large output within 1 second based on the change of the grid frequency for only 15 minutes, 1.5. And the second category, it's peak shaving and load shifting. So you have to provide, let's say, spinning reserve or supplementary reserve for up to 1 to 2 hours. And then we launched another product just recently announced on the salary platform. You have to provide the energy for 4 continuous hours. So this is like a critical change as opposed to the frequency regulation application. We are more headed toward load shifting.
So I mean, these battery companies, do you have a lot of hours when the prices are actually negative, like what's happening in Australia? The battery companies are buying things at negative price and selling at a very high price.
Oh, right now, because the platform is only online since July, and then it's completely brand new with the 590 megawatt hour availability as for daily demand. We only have 17 storage connected to the system. So right now you can say for whoever wants to join the market, it's pretty certain that you will get the bidding 24 hours every day. But once the supply is larger than demand, then yeah, maybe we will become similar to the Australian situation where the supplier has to survive and they will bid for negative dollar to secure the service hours.
Yeah, but I mean, are you seeing that as well? Like I posted onto LinkedIn, I think earlier this week, this duck curve really in South Australia, the huge daytime sun eroding the demand almost completely. So are you seeing that the daytime, all this rooftop solar is basically reducing the system demand quite significantly?
Okay. Yes, I saw the post, and reducing the system demands, if we hit 25 gigawatt by 2025, then yes. But then right now, as of today, the capacity of renewable energy, it's only less than 6%.
Okay, so this is not enough to cause that sort of impact
Not
yet.
enough yet, yes.
Yeah, because once that happens, then it will be really opportunity for batteries to come in, saying a daytime peak gets shaved by solar directly, and then the evening gets shaved by the batteries.
Yes, definitely. And when you have the when you have the dot curve, and in the afternoon the line becomes steeper, then yes, you will need battery to stabilize the peak and off peak supply situation.
Yeah, because there's also one other thing that Australia is doing, and Melbourne especially, that they have feed-in tariff, which is sort of varies by time of day. So your feed-in tariff in the daytime is less, but the evening is much higher. So government is giving you incentive rather than selling it to the grid during daytime, storing the battery, sell in the evening, you get a higher price. Do you have something similar on your feed-in tariff?
Now, actually, we are many years behind Australia, so it's really interesting to see what other countries are doing. And our feed-in tariff is fixed for 20 years, regardless peak and off peak. It's fixed. TPC will purchase per kilowatt at a cost of 15 cents. But you mentioned that in Australia, the feed-in tariff for battery storage, it's price sensitive.
Yeah, it varies depending on the time of day. So during the daytime, it's less, and it's higher in the evening. So you, as a consumer, has the incentive to store the electricity and sell it back in the evening when the grid might need it more.
Right, and this is only for let's say commercial level, or as a residential users. You can also let's say invest in a small kilowatt battery system and store it during off peak and sell at peak period.
Yeah, I believe it's for everyone.
Cool.
I'll definitely look it up. I think it's on the website of the Essential Services Commission of Victoria, where I used to work many years back. So yeah, so on their website, yeah, I'll send you the link.
Okay. Because right now, I believe for a salary service, for each hour the price changes.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, Elaine, I got it.
Okay.
The 2021 and 2, you have the minimum feed-in tariff is 6 cents per kilowatt hour, single rate. But if you have a time varying feed-in tariff, it can vary between 6.1 up to 10.9 cents kilowatt hour. So depending on the time of day. So in the morning between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., if you do on a weekday, and your feed-in tariff will be 6.7, sorry, these are the off-peak. And a peak time, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., if you want to sell it back to the grid when the sun is a bit down. So you can get almost 10.9 cents a kilowatt hour.
Oh, wow.
So, but then during daytime is only 6.1 cents. So you just say, hey, I've got a 4.7 cents margin here, 4.8 cents. So if I store it, and if I can store it at less than 4.8 cents a kilowatt hour, I'm better off selling it back to the grid at that time later in the
Right. Yeah, there's almost like a 50% upside.
Yes, 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 almost. So that's what it's giving you, the incentive to store. And I think government also was giving a lot of subsidies for home batteries, so
Right.
that residential. Is there any subsidies for home batteries in Taiwan?
No, not at the moment. And then like Taiwanese have this old memory about, okay, battery is like a portable bomb. So even our buildings, a lot of like luxury or like a lot of luxurious apartment, they don't want the charging stations inside their basements for electrical vehicles. Yeah, we are moving quite slow. and going back to what is happening in Victoria, it's do the users charge gray energy or green energy for storage, or it doesn't really matter?
I didn't understand the question.
So like the source of energy to store in the battery is green or gray.
Oh,
Gray
no.
means
That I think will be very difficult to sort of ascertain. I'm not sure how they do, but you have no incentive to buy from the grid almost 30 cents a kilowatt hour and then sell it back as 10 cents. So you will only do that if you have generated, right?
oh, okay, like diesel generator.
No, I mean, any other source, if it is below 10 cents a kilowatt hour, there's no point you to sell it back. You will only sell that came from wind or mostly solar, if in the case of residential, right?
With a lower LCOE. That's what you mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
not even LCOE. It's basically just a marginal cost, right? Because if you're selling at 10 cents, you do not want to produce or purchase at a higher price.
Yes, you rather just use for self-consumption.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have an electric car or an electric truck with 100 kilowatt hour battery storage, and you can buy from some hydropower or somewhere else cheap.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we are very far from those yet. Now, coming to electric car, you just mentioned in the passing, what's the electric car scenario in Taiwan?
Electric car scenario is really barren. Only in the central city has a charging station, but outside, like in suburban county, we have charging station in each of the county, but not enough to, let's say, form a complete network to give the driver a peace in mind that when you go for a road trip, you don't have to worry about finding a place to charge for your battery. It's definitely not as convenient as the let's say the gasoline station.
And why not? I can argue that forever, because average, typical driver maybe does only a few hundred kilometers a day, right? You mentioned south to north is about 450 kilometers, right?
400 kilometers. Let me check. Wait.
So that I don't think people will be driving quite frequently that distance, right? So still electric vehicle for short distances within the city should be okay. And yes. Electric vehicle is also battery on wheels, right?
Batteries on wheels, yes.
So it can do all sorts of things that your batteries can do.
It's 377 kilometers.
Mm-hmm. So you will definitely stop in the middle at least once, and then you can get the battery charge. There are a lot of fast charges. Because I recently did quite a number of times drove from LA to California.
Okay.
Is similar distance, maybe a bit more. But yeah, it was okay. We stopped, we had lunch, and the car got fully charged.
Mm. How about the electrical vehicle development in the Philippines?
Philippines, that's a difficult question. I don't know the exact numbers. Philippine government was working on an electric vehicle law, and then I did spend quite a bit of time trying to for an electric tricycle project where we had planned to do 100,000 electric tricycle. That stopped after 3,000. I think we were maybe a little bit ahead of time. It was 10 years back. Then there are a lot of initiatives on electric jeepneys. So there are a few running, but you said you come to the Philippines for diving. So next time you come in, go to Boracay. You've been to Boracay, right?
When I was about to go, the island shut down for cleaners.
Yeah. But now Boracay has all electric tricycles. I mean, there is a
Wow.
huge number. It's maybe about 500 odd. It's very nice. Every
Wow.
tricycle, I think the mayor has banned it. So you don't see those little tricycles. These are all electric, similar to what we had designed under our project. So it's very nice.
Oh, pollution free. Oh my God, I need to go.
Yeah, it is very nice. And electric car wise, there is no direct incentive for electric cars. So you, of course, I understand there are a few Teslas in the city. I think I saw once Nissan Leaf. So, but I don't know exact numbers. But yeah, it don't be huge numbers anyway.
Oh, we have this electrical two wheels motorbikes too. It's called Gogoro. Gogoro is a Taiwanese company, but they are going on IPO. No, they are going to IPO on I think NASDAQ through SPAC. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, electric two-wheelers and three-wheelers are a huge market because I think three-wheelers, last time I checked, there are more than 300 million electric two-wheelers and three-wheelers running in the world. So it's a huge number.
Yeah. Especially in Southeast Asia, India. We love motorbikes.
Yeah, but those are not electric yet. I think India, slowly it's happening. But I think Bangladesh has a lot of low quality electric three-wheelers. Someone was saying in millions, maybe 3 million. These are electric but lead acid batteries. So I understand, I know that few people are working on converting them to lithium ion batteries. So that's a huge market as well.
For our batteries, we use lithium ion battery too, and punch type. So it's a lot of energy density, but much lesser weight. So it's suitable for electrical vehicles, frequency regulation application, and for the future load shifting, then we may use flow battery because it can discharge and charge for up to 5 hours. That would be really nice.
Okay, so what is the largest battery project that you have been involved in Taiwan?
Largest battery project I have personally been involved or overall?
Yeah, personally or overall, anyway.
So largest battery installation in Taiwan, it will be, we just summarized the tender for 40 megawatts of frequency regulation system. It's a public tender, and there's another 60 megawatts coming up. In terms of power, and I personally have been involved in 5 megawatt ESS from start to finish, also for frequency regulation project.
Okay, so these are on a, what sort of installation? Are these on a container or these are on a underground or it's on a building? Where are they located?
All containerized.
Containerized.
Underground. Yeah. Have you seen any underground battery storage installation?
No, I have seen mostly, I've seen quite a few containerized, but mostly overground. I've not seen underground.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, to provide more usability on our land. Underground would be really cool.
Yeah, I think, yeah, as long as you can provide a good drainage, so should be okay.
In terms of rain and typhoon.
So this 5 megawatt battery project that you are involved in, how long did it take to build?
Okay, so to begin with, we have to locate a suitable feeder. And to locate a suitable feeder, because when you discharge, it sinks as a load. So we need to submit the system impact analysis to TPC and get the grid connection approval. After you get the approval, you can start the construction. And the grid connection approval process usually takes about 2 to 3 months. But at that time, you can place orders on battery because right now the lead time is usually 5 months. So when you get approval battery, then that leaves you 2 months of a time to finish your concrete foundation civil engineer. Engineering work. Then after the foundation is ready, you put the container on top and start connect to your transformers, your AC panels, and like NOF, DS, those electrical engineering connections. Then you schedule for a commissioning day with the TPC, and they will come and do the ability test on your execution and communication on the qualification of your execution and communication. Then yeah, and you will get you will get a login account on the Accelerate platform where you can officially start trading. This is a long process, so it usually takes about I would say 6 months.
Yes, 6 months, but if you already know the location of the land and you have identified the connectivity capacity, like a connection assets, then it's quite quicker, right? If you already know the location and the value, then you don't have to do a separate study. It can be done within 3 months, no?
No, because the lead time of battery, it's a headache because the production capacity is mostly booked by electrical vehicle PO.
So you are supply constrained in somehow.
Yeah, supply constraint somehow. And minimum lead time, it's 150 days.
Lead time,
And
because
this is already considered short. I have heard my competitors, they need 180, 210 days. Yeah.
Okay, because the reason I'm saying, I remember Elon Musk had a competition or a bet with our Australian Prime Minister that the Hornsdale power battery, I think, which is about 90 megawatt and 128 megawatt hour, something like that, that it will be installed within 100 days or it will be free. But I think it was installed in 93 days, Tesla battery.
Wow.
So I think that was used to be the largest battery in Australia. Maybe,
but now it caught fire, the same.
I beg your pardon?
But now it caught fire.
No, it did not cut fire. No fire.
Oh, but I saw the news that there was a massive fire on the Tesla installation, ESS installation in Australia.
Okay, there are quite a few. I'll check. I was not aware of that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, so you are saying 6 months. So this is quite amazing because a lot of people don't appreciate that 50 megawatt hydro can take, I don't know, 3 years to build.
Oh,
Yeah, and a coal plant also at least couple of years to build. And a battery plant, it takes 6 months and you're already tired. You said, oh my God, it takes so long, no?
like hydro and coal, they're generators, but as for storage, we are only provide a
Mhm.
salary and like reserve capacity as a substitute to support the development of renewable energy. That's the whole purpose, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the Victorian fire that happened, I think, yeah, that's in South, that's in Victoria, not in South Australia with the battery factory that I was talking about. So
Oh,
this,
so different
this is
ones.
with neon. This is the newer one.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a spark. Anything can have a spark. I mean, something happens with lithium ion battery, whole world jumps on this, like an electric car having an accident. So many normal car, ICE cars blows up. No one, media doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think safety is really the prime consideration when you choose a battery supplier.
Elaine, I mean, you are maybe the one of the very few person that I met you really knows nuts and bolts about the energy sector, especially
Really?
what's happening.
Oh,
Really.
thank you. I still have a lot to learn from you on an international scale. Really.
So what do you tell a young entrepreneur who wants to get into this field and want to do something? What do you tell them? What should they do?
What should they do? Well, I wouldn't tell them to work 16 hours or 14 hours a day. They'll probably scare them, but I think this is a really exciting industry. Like when I first entered um, about 5 years ago, I found that it's a beautiful combination of finance, engineering, networking, communication, construction, then like just giving back to the society and the like the environmental um, contribution as a whole. And I believe that what I'm doing, it's more than generating revenue. It's a corporate social responsibility act, like to help out the global warming, of course. And like we have extreme weathers, and yeah, this is all a result of excessive CO2 emission. And yeah, and I believe, and it like the transformation of energy, it's a long way to go, but like we both of us being in this industry as a career, I believe it's a fruitful journey, and you can, if you can like develop something like can be seen or can be actually calculated.
Yeah, I think so. People should get into this industry. There's so many battery factories to be built, so many on-grid batteries to be built. Huge
Yeah,
opportunity.
like really tangible. Not only um not only like giving back to my shareholders, but also giving back to the community.
Okay. Just, I mean, you seem very passionate about climate change and how to, I mean, avoiding climate change rather. So at what point you sort of realize that, no, climate change is real. I have to do something about it. When did that happen? Do you remember a moment when that might have happened, or you have been always like that?
I personally can feel it's a lot harder in the summer as opposed to when I was like 20, when I was in my early 20s. And yeah, and then like there was a year, I believe it's 2 years ago, when we got no typhoon, which is extremely peculiar because Taiwan and Philippines will usually encounter at least 2 to 3 typhoons per year. Without typhoon, I have like my PV power plants are um like generating 6 kilowatt hour per day. It's a it's a great it's a great outcome, but I know it's not natural. And then I see, for example, in let's say, there was let's say which country, Madagascar. There was food deprivation disaster because the crops cannot grow because there was no water, and like the sun, the sun hours are just too long. So yeah, like starvations and natural disaster happen quite frequently. So this is when I realized, okay, we're kind of at the age of maybe going to Mars for the survival of our humanity. I don't know. Do you feel the same?
I think I'm a big believer that technology and human intuition will fix this problem. Right now, we are just going through some denial. I think that has changed dramatically. More people believe that something needs to be done and something will be done. So I think, and something will be done. So I'm a big believer that technology will solve the problem as humans decide to solve it. So I think we are at that point. So
yeah, I think it's a matter of public awareness. Like everybody needs to feel entitled to give a contribution.
Yep, no, that's good. Yeah, I think, Elaine, thank you very much for your time. I think I learned quite a lot about Taiwan and what you're doing. Is there anything else you want to share that I have not asked?
I think that's as of now. And yeah, in the future, I hope that like following those global leaders initiated to adopting renewable energy, like we're talking about ESG. So my suppliers, customers, and like financial service partners, even accounting firm, they will all start to take a part in the energy transformation, and hopefully by 2020 we can reach carbon neutralization. That's that's my biggest wish.
2050.
2050, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for having me, Soho. I wish you a great vacation coming ahead. We will keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us this week. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to our show. Also, leave your comments and review if you enjoyed today's episode. Follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter at shasni for updates. That's SHASNIE. Once again, this has been Energypreneurs, connecting you to the innovative opportunities in solar power, batteries, and electric vehicles. Stay tuned.